All right, so this is going to be a reading for Capricorn. And for the Capricorn that I'm reading for today, I'm seeing that you're on a healing journey. And it's a healing journey that so far really has not been linear. Usually, healing is not. And what that means is that sometimes you may struggle with something and then you feel like you've resolved it, you've taken a break, you've healed it, and then it kind of comes back around in a new form. And that's really what I see you working through here. And with the oracle cards being breakthrough, celebration, and totality, I see there being an opportunity for you to kind of not just move through that cycle, that loop, but to actually get to the root of it and have that breakthrough moment. And it comes through as such a relief for you, such a weight off your shoulders that you start to feel like you're putting the pieces of yourself back together and you start to feel complete again. And you're able to kind of rejoice and celebrate, which is a really good energy. Um, Now, I'm going to dive into these readings in a second, but before I do, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, Capricorn, and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading as well, I do offer them. You can email me. My email's available below in the description box. And if you'd like to lend your energy in a more powerful way to the channel so that I can manifest messages that resonate more with your energy, you can like and subscribe. But let's get into it, Capricorn. So I'm seeing that when it comes to your healing process, your healing journey, you could have been holding off for quite a while, maybe avoiding it or just holding back from really diving in and fully giving yourself the space and the time to heal, to recover, to rest, to confront things. And so you may have been in a bit of a space of like limbo for a while when you were holding back from this healing process. And I see that time sort of coming to an end. You could also just be holding back from like participating fully in your life because you've been moving through the waters of healing. And so that is also coming to an end, and you could kind of feel your energy shifting and transmuting as that process takes place. Let's take a look at the recent past and what you were kind of dealing with here. I'm seeing that there was a sense of happiness and fulfillment and contentedness around you, but at the same time, there was some type of pain that was kind of pulling your energy down. And so you were kind of dealing with both energies at once, one of happiness and contentment, and one of pain, stress, and heaviness. Possibly, a cycle that you were struggling to get out of, even as you were maybe feeling at the same time a sense of fulfillment in other places. Okay, so you're showing me that the root of this issue of your pain stems from either a relationship with a father figure or just with masculinity or men in your life and giving and receiving love with them. For some of you, this could stem back to an experience you had in your childhood. For others of you, this is like a soul connection that you shared with one person or multiple people. And it's about being able to love and your experience kind of in love. And there's this feeling of every time you try to connect with this sort of masculine energy in your life, it felt very sort of fast moving, impulsive, young, sexual, like hot and heavy, in and out, here for a good time, not a long time. And that energy just showed up so much in your life that I'm seeing that you really may have gotten used to that to a certain extent, or you may have seen it as normal over time, even though it wasn't fulfilling for you. And so there could be a pattern of returning to energies that aren't really the best for you, aren't really nourishing you, could be kind of flaky or unreliable in some way. And over time, you may have tried to contend with the part of yourself that is attracted to that kind of energy and felt like you just couldn't escape it. Like, even if you tried to move on, you just found the energy in a different person, but it was the same kind of thing. And I'm seeing that you were kind of eager to explore the opportunity to see what was going on under the surface, right? Like, you were like, let me really get to the root of this. Like, I want to be happy. I want to look for what it is that I really want. You're taking the endeavor of love and healing and fulfillment very seriously and saying, I do want something that's going to fulfill me. Um, but when you kind of approach different energies or they approached you, there may have been things you weren't seeing with the moon card here. There may have been things beneath the surface that kind of came up later, and there may have even been times when you felt like you were connecting with energies that were more reliable or weren't a part of this pattern, only to find out later that it actually was the same pattern and the same energy kind of happening over and over again. And that comes through as being very stressful for you, as being something that you're like, when will I ever escape this pattern? When will I ever escape this energy? And I think that's why the strength card is present in your reading, because healing here is really something that's going to have to take self-discipline and effort for you. I also want to mention, even though you can't see the cards, that in your overall energy you have 4 major arcana cards. So this is a very present sort of lesson. There's a lot of lessons here. There's a lot to learn. These are huge soul experiences that you're moving through. And this isn't some type of, small issue that you're moving through in your life. This is about long-term healing and a cycle that you're showing me I'm really tired of and I want to move out of. You're saying, I want to finish this cycle out once and for all. I want something that's more fulfilling, something I can rely on, a foundation, a community. I don't want this wishy-washy energy anymore. And so I see in the current energy your higher self kind of trying to reach out to you and guide you through that experience, trying to tell you to maybe take a break and pull back your energy in order to shift the tide here. Let's take a look at what your higher self is trying to show you with the High Priestess. Strong Pisces energy here as well. I don't know if that'll relate for any of you. Your higher self is asking you to look at your pain in such a way where you can learn more about yourself and what it is you've been accepting from the world. Like, to really ask yourself, why do I let people mistreat me? Why do I continue engaging in this cycle? When these energies come towards me, what is it that I'm so attracted to? And to allow your pain to teach you something rather than just kind of skating over it, being upset, and jumping back into the cycle. So your higher self is trying to point out to you that there is a pattern in your own energy that comes from this place of pain, and that really wants you to look at whatever it is that happened here in your past, whether that was with a father figure or someone else. You're going to know what I'm talking about for you specifically more than I will know for all of you. But your higher self is asking you to really put yourself first and to take a look at your pain and to take it seriously in order to really work with it and heal it rather than kind of brush past it. You may, when it comes to energies that really love you and really can offer you support and care and softness, you may cut those energies off or reject them or not give them as much time or attention as other energies. And it's almost like you're in this period where you're taking the time to look at that as well, to heal that as well, and say, when were there times in my life where I had opportunities to connect with people who could give me what I wanted, and why did I kind of cut that off for myself, And so I almost see you taking like this interim period, this break from maybe connecting with other people or just taking some time to yourself to rest, and really healing the part of you that has been closed off to love, that's been guarded to it, and kind of shine a light on the pattern that you've had where, maybe you accept something that isn't working for you and you turn down something that might work for you. And I think especially when it comes to engaging with masculine energies, which it looks like you're doing, there may be a part of you that is attracted to like the bad boy or, the edgy person or the person who's not emotionally available. And Spirit's asking you to kind of take a look at, why aren't you attracted to people who are kind to you? Like, why aren't you attracted to people who make themselves available to you? And I see you kind of in the current moment actually taking a very honest look at that and recognizing that pattern and realizing, okay, maybe I do need to take a step back from what I've been engaging in and really shift the way that I do things, or shift the type of person that I usually engage with, maybe go to different places or do different things. There's a change that's coming here for you with the Wheel of Fortune that I see you actively being in the middle of right now. The change is really you just taking it upon yourself to rest and heal. And that keeps kind of coming up over and over again, is like that this is an effort that you're spearheading for yourself, that this is something that you're consciously engaging in, that you are summoning the strength within you to go deeper, to go within. For many of you, I'm seeing meditation very strongly, or just spending time alone, maybe doing things that make you feel good for your own sake, regardless of other people or how they feel about it. I see you really holding on to the things that love you, and kind of all of a sudden having this perspective shift of like, oh my god, I can't do things the way that I was doing. Like, and once you do that, you start to see how much love you already have around you, how much happiness is already around you. And then once you can kind of see those energies for what they are, I see you holding on to them pretty tight and being like, oh, like these are the things that work best for me. Like these are the things that make me feel rested and happy and, you know, content and relaxed. And then you kind of go with those energies. And you start to feel a lot more loved, and your heart starts to open. I see you reconnecting with your heart quite a bit. Now, as you do this, it may open up some wounds for you, because you're softening and you're starting to see things in a different way. And so that's where I see the healing process not being linear, is even though you dove into like a whole other level of healing, you're also, you know, then certain energies from the past kind of come back around. Let's take a look at that. I see you struggling to hear what your intuition has to say. Like, yes, you open up to the pain and you start to heal and everything, but you're also, it's not an easy process. It's a lot of, you know, possibly being very hard on yourself, being like, you know, why did I choose that thing? You know, I thought it was going to make me happy, but it didn't make me happy. Like, I wish I only knew what I know now. It's a very stressful energy, and I see you being pretty hard on yourself and really struggling with kind of the realizations that you have of like, God, that was actually awful, and I put up with that for so long or something. And Spirit's kind of asking you to be grateful for the fact that those things are pretty much over in your life, and you are in a new period of your life, and you can rest, and you don't have to be caught up in those energies anymore, because now you're kind of recognizing things for what they are. But I do see it not being that simple for you, and I see you struggling a lot, thinking like, you know, if only I'd seen this sooner, or if only I could make sense of this in a better way. And you're also showing me a real attachment to the people in your past, to the things that made you happy. There may be this idea of, I can only be loved if I'm attached to those people, or I can only feel secure and feel happy and feel supported if I have those past energies in my life. And so there's a bit of a need to fully accept the cycles that have closed and accept the things that have changed in your life, and that things happened for what they were, so that you can start to heal the energies and how they affected you and truly move forward. And I see you really struggling to let this go, to actually really release. And I see you holding on a lot to the way that things were, or wondering, you know, like will this thing love me that is in the past, that's no longer available to love you? And maybe those individuals do still love you, but it doesn't show up in your life or something like that. And I see you really looking for love in places where it doesn't fully exist in the present moment. Like, time has passed, things have changed. There's love for you in other places, but for whatever reason, you're showing me a barrier between you and those past places, those past energies. And so there's a need to accept that in order to move forward. Let's get 3 cards of advice from the universe. Spirit's asking you to be grateful for what you have around you, to really take a good look at all the positive things you have around you. For many of you, this could have to do with your home space, or something that you're building at home, something that you're building for yourself, something in your material world that's actually really good in your present moment, and really ground yourself in that happiness and what's going on around you right now, rather than getting lost in the nostalgia or the pain of the past or what could have been, and really try to ground yourself in the present moment. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this helps. I hope that this resonates, and I'll see you next time.